All right. What got you interested in coaching?
Um, well, I've always learned best from watching other players and copying them.
Sure.
So, so I thought, what better way of learning than learning from the players themselves and having them directly tell me what's wrong
Okay.
and what
Okay.
their thought process is.
So, how long have you been playing Overwatch?
Not that I started playing end of November last year, I think.
Sure. Sure. Okay. What got you into
Yeah.
the game initially?
Friend recommended it to me. I've
Sure.
always been into competitive games and he told me to give Overwatch a try and well just goes from there I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. And I'm seeing here you're primarily just DPS player. Has that always been the case? Have you pivoted around from role to role? And if so, why did you
I
care
started off
for?
as a support player and
Okay.
then I think I switched over to DPS in season 8 of Overwatch 2
Sure.
and I've been
Sure.
like learning since then, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. And I'm seeing at least at the time of the form, Tracer, Pharah, Echo, Widow. Is that still approximately the case?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Do you have a preference or priorities or percentage breakdown, or is those all relatively even?
Definitely Tracer by a large margin.
Okay.
Although recently I've been like putting Ash learning Ash and then some Echo as well.
Sure. Why Tracer specifically?
I love her gameplay. I find her gameplay really fun. I love skill expression in heroes, and yeah, she's really fun to play and has high skill ceiling.
Okay. I looking at your goals here and so I can queue snipe checks.
Yes,
Do you mind if I send that to him really fast? I might have to send him a screenshot.
do it. You can
All right.
do it.
He's gonna love
No,
that so much.
Chex has been primarily my coach for like the past 3 months now. I think
Yeah.
he's gotten me from I started in like low plat all the way to I touched masters this season.
Sure. Nice, dude. Congrats. Congrats. And what has checks done that has helped you so much? What specific things have you been working on?
I started off by my tracer at least. I started off like having the problem of just sitting in main. He really drilled it into me like to fix that, and also mechanics as well. Just because I just don't have, I think I have like a decent understanding of like macro, like timing, like shooting from off angle,
Yeah.
um, and etc. Just from like him like watching my gameplay all the time. But I think my mechanics are where I'm failing at the moment. It's what it feels like for me because I feel like duels take too long. Like I think I'd probably take too long killing people uh, on duels, and also because I've been like checks told me to first implement blink melees because those are really important, and
Sure.
then later on implement blink 180 melees. And ever since I've been like implementing blink 180 melees, he just told me to like just go for it, like limit test, which is fair enough. But I think my blink usage could use some work. I think that's my biggest issue, and also I get lost a lot doing Blink 180 melees.
Okay. Okay. So we'll take a look at that then. Let's keep going here. So you're playing around 3 to 4 hours every day of Overwatch. Is that all ranked? And how much of that is Tracer compared to other characters?
Uh, that is, I would say 90% ranked, yeah. And Tracer, I would say at least a third of that time or more,
Okay. And you are
depending on
consistent.
map.
And you're consistent. You have a consistent warm up schedule, warm up routine as well.
I've been getting lazy with it for like the past couple of weeks, but I
Sure.
used to
What
have
was
like
it? What would it used to be?
I I just hop on Vaxter and I kind of just like uh shoot bots until I feel like warmed up, and
Hmm.
I switch around heroes depending on like who I want to learn slash who I want to like practice. So sometimes I would always pretty much start off with Tracer until I feel confident and I feel warm tracking tracking bots, and then I would sometimes switch to Cass, sometimes Widow,
Okay.
just to like yeah.
And how long would that usually take you?
5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely try to resume that. I think 5 to 10 minutes
Yeah.
is like, sometimes when people are like, oh, I have a struggle with consistency in my warm up, and I'm like, oh, how many warm? Well, I spend like 45 minutes in Kovacs. So like, okay, well,
Yeah.
um, if you I would say the same for you though. Like, if you really don't feel like you're able to consistently stick with the 10 minutes, if you're just not feeling the value, that even 2 to 3 minutes, just, I mean, not even joking, like jump into 2 to 3 minutes of Vaxta and just stand still and just do some tracking practice or something like that. Like literally anything I think would be useful. Just get your mind in the routine of like, when we do this, it's time to go, right? I think that would be useful. Let's keep going here. Well, performing Blink 180 memes. Now what is what is a try hard deathmatch looking like in OC? I can't imagine it's good.
Non-existent.
Non-existent. Okay. What is the unranked deathmatch looking like in OCE?
Also non-existent.
Frick. Do you have any friends that play Overwatch?
Yes.
Okay. If you can, I would get in the habit if like you're able to like set up a schedule, even if it's not even like daily thing, like a weekly thing or anything. So you could duel these people, whether it's a Tracer duel, Tracer versus Cassidy, Tracer versus Zen, Tracer versus Ana, Tracer versus whatever. 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 50 minutes, as much as you can, do it. Do it.
Okay.
If you want to improve a mechanical aspect, this is how you're going to do it. What you do is you go in and you force Blink melees and you force Blink 180 melees. Not constantly, but like whenever you can. And you get a better feel of not only how to do it, but when it's actually appropriate to do it. Because I think, the obvious answer is like, how do I improve at this? Well, you just need to go into Vax and you just need to do it over and over and over and over again. But the honest answer is that like, you need to like actually implement it versus somebody that's actually shooting you back with the layers of having to dodge their cooldowns and dodge their shots and have movement. And you're just not going to get that as much from just using Vax over and over. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. That's what I would recommend.
Cool.
I mean, it's hard
to set up, but
it will. But I would put it. It's worth the time. It's worth the time. I used to do this sometimes. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you know Hydron from the Overwatch League back then. He's a streamer now or whatever.
Yeah.
We used to, back when he was like a Masters player, we used to duel on Black Forest. I'd go Zen and he'd go Tracer. And that like really, really, really helped a lot. So it sucks at like the death of tryhard FFA. I wish I could explain it, but I highly, highly recommend finding some sort of a stand-in if you can. And in worst case scenario, like just practicing I mean, honestly, you can practice Blink melees in ranked as well as like your goal, right? Like you go in and you're like, oh, what am I going to be practicing for today? Not angles, not timing, not macro, but forcing Blink melees as much as I possibly can and finding times when it's actually useful.
I have like a practice account that I just like use to quite literally practice whatever the fuck I want and not care about rank.
Right. That would be a really good one to work with.
Yeah, since tryhard FFA doesn't exist, and I found that on pretty early in my like time with Overwatch.
If it makes it feel any better, because Misery Loves Company, it's not even a thing in NA anymore. It's like legit just EU lobbies. Like it's just EU. Like they're technically there for NA sometimes, but they're like totally dead. Yeah, it's tragedy.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. Goals here: reach Masters again this season, hopefully without abusing Pharah. Expand my hero pool so I can play Echo Ash comfortably and work on my mechanics as Tracer. Okay, so have you heard me talk about dynamic hero pools before?
Rings a bell.
Okay. Work on 1 or 2 characters at a time, no more. If you want to have a pocket Pharah or Echo occasionally as like your fill-in, that's fine. But at any given time, you're not training multiple things. So let me give you an analogy. Right now, I do a lot of like speed, athletics, fitness stuff. I did a month-and-a-half long program, like 5-6 weeks, called Hypertrophy Clusters. And it was focused mostly on muscle growth and just strength because I wanted to improve my strength. And I've been working out for like a decade. And I sprinted once or twice a week, but I did generally less jumping, athletics, sports, and speed work that week than I normally do. I put more emphasis on the strength. Right now, I'm on a program called Vertical Jump Protocol, which is putting a little bit less emphasis on the strength side of things and more on I'm trying to improve my vertical jump by 2 inches. Okay? I'm still lifting. I'm still strength training, but it's not as much of a priority for me. I'm putting emphasis on this. And what I do is I cycle my point of focus for my training, and I experience larger athletic and strength gains than I would if I just did a little bit of everything all the time. Right now might be your tracer period. You get what I'm saying? It might be your tracer timing. You do this for a couple of months. You go, okay, I'm pleased I've made some progress with tracer, but I really would expand my hero pool a little bit. I'd love to start playing Echo, Ash, and do those characters more comfortably. Great. Play tracer occasionally, once a week, twice a week, every now and then. But it would be better for you to literally not play tracer at all than it is to just dabble here and there and just be gray all the time. Be black, be white, back and forth, back and forth. Be very clean with what you're doing. You can change your hero pool whenever you'd like. Just don't play anything all the time at once. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, that's how pro players do it. That's how you should do it. Pro players don't play everything all the time at once. They just cycle depending on what there is needed for their team at the time. And they pick the characters that they used to play back very quickly, right? It doesn't take you a long time to get back the tracer mechanics that you used to have, right? You'll get it back quickly. Okay. Yeah. I think my mechanics on tracer, at least, is my biggest limiting factor, although the way I approach the game could also be a factor. I've been told I am too conservative of a player and they need to limit test more. I also suffer from ranked anxiety and usually can't play more than 2 to 3 games if I'm solo queuing. Is that still the case?
I've been working on it, but depending on what happens, I do lose motivation very quickly.
So, how do you approach competitive then? Are you mostly 3 to 4 hours? Are you duo queuing and so on?
When I jump on, I usually try to find at least someone to play with. But I have been working on just playing, just solo queuing, and it happens sometimes, but it's just depends on it. It's just different on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
I feel and etc. Okay.
Let me recommend something for you. I would recommend setting this sounds super corny, but give it a shot. Progressive overload for your solo queue. Okay. Start with a weekly range of, depending on how you feel, anywhere from 2 to 4 games of solo queuing for the entire week. You have to do at least 2. Or at the very most 4. Next week, 3 to 5. Next week, 4 to 6. Next week, 5 to 7. Then reevaluate. Got me?
Okay. Gotcha.
Give yourself that range, depending on how you're feeling, right? Give it a shot. And remember, the goal is always, when you're playing ranked, is to go in with a specific thing to work on. You raise a little bit of a red flag, not a major red flag, but a little bit of a red flag when you brought up earlier that, oh yeah, I have this account to practice the more mechanical things, so I don't care as much about the rank. But frankly, that should be all your accounts. There should be no one specific account where you feel more comfortable practicing. It shouldn't matter. You know when you're allowed to start caring about rank? When you break top 50 and you're trying to min-max to reach rank 1. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. And I know I shouldn't care about rank, but it's hard.
Yes. Well, that's because you need to train to get there. My point being is this is how you should be, and then this is how you get there.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying that you're unreasonable for caring about it, because it's just natural, right? We don't like losing those kind of things, right? But yeah, this is how we want to get to that point. And I want you to keep me updated with how that goes. All right?
Yeah.
One other lifestyle tip, you probably have heard me talk about this as well. Please take a break between each game. Every single game. You get up while you're in queue. So you queue up. What's OCE DPS queues look like?
3 minutes average.
Okay, great. Use those 3 minutes. Get up, walk around, grab some water, pet the dog, get some mail, run, naked laps outside the yard. I don't care. Just do something away from the computer during the queue time. Come back and play.
Okay.
I don't care if it's a good game. I don't care if you're tilted. I don't care if it's a bad game. I don't care. Take the time to process it. Go back in again. Reset your goals. Remind yourself what you're focusing on, and so on. Sound good?
Yeah, sound good.
Okay. I think my mechanics. Solo queuing. Okay, master DPS count. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't have any other questions from your form. Your sleep looks good. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I do not have any questions.
Okay, let's take a look at some gameplay. That work for you?
That works for me. Let me send you the code.
Lovely.
you go.
Okay. Now, why did you choose this code? What about this code made it worth looking at?
It was a very close, very close game. It came down to the last fight, and I felt like I did well, but I don't know what else I could have done to make it not as close to like win for my team more.
Now, you talked a great deal about how Chex was telling you to work on being a little more proactive, taking angles, and so on. Is there anything else you've been working on recently with Tracer?
Recently, I think I've just been working on mechanics, more specifically trying to like better my blink usage, especially in duels, because I do notice that a lot of the time I'm struggling dueling cast, sometimes dueling soldier and like even support sometimes.
Okay, sounds good. So focusing on duels. Now, what aspects of those duels have you been working on, or is just generally working on the duels?
I think I'm trying to experiment with when is it appropriate to blink melee, and when is it not? When is it more appropriate just to like blink around them and shoot them?
What have you learned?
Before I used to just like enter a duel pretty much with a blink melee, or like or like my most standard way of taking a duel was to just like blink through them repeatedly. But now I'm trying to experiment with like blinking around and then not immediately going for the blink melee, trying to like shoot them from the side and then judge and using my blinks based on how they react and where they look.
Yes. Here's a little tidbit with blink melee. So I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I have studied blink melee I don't know how many times. I still don't have a good answer for when it's appropriate. Because the obvious answer is that, oh, it's just free damage. But as you and I both know, it's not the case. Because every melee reduces the time or increases the time for you to reload. So if I blink melee, I just increase my reload time. Right? So it's not free damage. This is where I might be thinking blink melee is appropriate. Is that if you do a mid-clip blink, okay? You might want to melee, blink again, and then finish your clip. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
yes,
let's say
that's
you go.
What I've been.
Yeah. Sorry. So no. Let me finish my thought because I'm too stupid to be able to carry it all together by myself. So I get to here. I blink. They're going to turn, and I know that they're going to turn. So what I do is I blink melee, they turn, and then I blink back to my original position or to a different angle, definitely not off the map, and I finish my clip. Because that way, the reason I'm doing the blink melee is because I'm going to be doing this and then this, right? And that quickness means if I blink and I start to shoot, and I shoot again, the melee is actually more damage than the few bullets I'd get out before I blink again. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I am going to talk with Rocket and Shax about that and get their opinions because they were very insightful. Because I actually I picked on them about like whether it was shift blinks or right click blinks because I wasn't sure with that one either, and they were very insightful for that one. By the way, if you're curious, they said different answers. And they're the two best tracers I know. Shaq says right click. I think Rocket uses shift. So again, it's so much of it is preference. But yeah, I think for me with blink melee is it is appropriate when you are mid clip because it's free damage because you're going to resume shooting post blink afterwards. If you have to reload, you just have to reload.
And that's what I found as well through experimenting to feel the most comfortable.
Right.
Doing. It's like an intuition thing. I don't know because a lot of things I pick up, and this is something Chex told me as well. Is like I'm doing a lot of things that conceptually apparently higher level players sometimes struggle with, but then I also don't know that I'm doing it, and I cannot really explain why I'm doing it. I just do it.
That's good though. That's good though. That's because you've started to move into being an instinctual player. It's just a really fancy way of saying that I'm just good. Because if you're a player like me, that if I try to play Tracer, a lot of the decisions I make may work in theory, but I'm just so incredibly bad at executing them that I can't, like, I have to consciously walk basically force myself. Like, I was playing Tracer a little bit last night, like one game, and I had to force myself to blink. Like, it was not natural at all for me to blink 1-8. Like, I had to think so hard about my blinks. I was always on a good angle and at good timing because I'm a coach, but like doing manually controlling like my decision making just made, and of course that meant my tracking was really bad and so on, right? So if you're instinctual, it just means that you've gone past the point to where you have to think and consciously choose these things. They just happen naturally. And that's that's where everybody should aim to be.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And like, yeah, because I came from sorry about ranting, but
no, please.
I came from a competitive background of like 5+ years in Counter-Strike, where I played very high level Counter-Strike, semi-professional level. And so and through that time, I think I've learned a lot about how to learn, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and my primary way of learning back then was to watch pro players, because, you know, demos exist, watching pro players, analyzing them, and I've like kind of carried that around to every aspect of life around and gaming around me. So I think part of it would be I just watch streams, pro players, etc., coaching videos. I see people do this, and I just I see good players do certain things, and I just copy them. And like, I don't really know why they do them. And then it's like, I copy them, and then I find out why they do these things, like later down the track.
Sure.
When I gain an understanding, yeah.
Makes total sense. The only shortcoming of that is sometimes that you might copy something that it was situational appropriate and might actually misapply it, right? And so we have to kind of address those problems. So what we'll do is we will look at the things that you're doing. We'll talk about the things that you're doing. And the only thing is that you can never be completely instinctual when you're improving, because the things that you're not doing that you should be doing need to become instincts. So how do they become instincts? Well, how did you get your instincts in the first place? By copying other pro players, by applying them in your game. And that's going to be like, okay, basically what parts of your gameplay are instinctually good? What parts are instinctually bad? Let's isolate those instinctually bad things and practice them over and over and over again until they become instincts in and of themselves.
Cool. Okay. Sounds good.
I would talk to you about, you know, Tracer and strengths and weaknesses, but I'm going to assume that that's already pretty much solved. Take an angle, put pressure, relatively short-ranged angle because your range is a little bit limited. And I think this is an important point here. So a lot of Tracer players get married to angles. And what I mean by that is not that they're married to the concept of angle, but they're married to a specific angle. Everybody likes this fight here. Why? Because everybody takes the fight to robot, and then you just take the flank here. GG's, right? Well, that's not working. Why?
Well, they're all here.
They're all here. So what's your adjustment?
Go the other way.
Go the other way. What are your what other way? Left or deeper right?
I think both can work depending on how early. Because
given the information you have, which one do you want to go to right now?
Right.
Okay, so you go right. Take the time to set up here, and this seems pretty reasonable to me. And that's it. So you're on an angle now, you're just too late. And you had to use 2 blinks to get here as well. So you could see that that's where your instincts failed you. Your instincts said, always take this angle, but your instincts didn't say, hey, what happens if somebody's there? You're like, oh, I've never dealt with this before. What do? You stood there and you shot a ram shield for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And so thankfully your ball is like committing war crimes, so you guys are okay, but that could have ended very badly. Now that is an appropriate blink melee. Why?
Because he's low health, and I'm just expended my clip, so I'm blink melee in the hopes of finishing him off.
That's it. You missed it, but it was appropriate, and that's the most important thing, right?
Did I miss it? I swear to God I hit it.
Maybe you did hit it. Are you? Oh gosh, I don't know. Like I actually don't know.
I think I did miss it somehow.
No, you did hit it. You did.
Oh,
hit it.
I did miss it.
I don't think you did.
Wait.
I saw her HP jump from 68 to 28, so I think you did hit it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, see right there. Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah, I did hit it, yeah.
You did hit it. You did hit it. Okay, yeah, appropriate. Good stuff. The only thing I would say here is instead of disengaging, hold the angle. Because you're going, oh, I don't have anything to shoot. I need to shoot something. But then you give up the position that allows you to control space productively and gave space to the far to fill that space. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you might need to disengage anyway, but at that point, maybe you disengage by actually dropping and playing here. In the interest of uptime, you're sacrificing the quality of that very same uptime. You see that?
Yeah.
And ironically, you died at the very far that you should have been contesting in the first place. Hold the angle. Play more resource light. Don't necessarily drop. Be a little more cautious, but hold the angle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Given the information you have, where should you be? Yeah, this.
Yeah,
Never mind. Yeah, your ball is left. This is good. Good use of cover here. Okay, disengage. Ball's down. Hold the angle up top. Let's see what we do. Yep. Sure. Go back in. A little bit corny with what's going on with you and your tank, but it's alright. Good. Good timing here. Again, you notice that you capitalized off the attention that your Venture was getting. You notice that? Like, this is the kind of team play timing that you have to be comfortable doing with Tracer, where you're like, okay, everybody's looking at me. I just totally AFK. Then I see my Venture start to take attention, and then I'm going to capitalize off of my Venture. You see this? This is really, really good. This is like the macro boring stuff that you have to be good at if you want to perform well on Tracer. Unfortunate. Obviously, I assume that was intended for a Weaver.
That wasn't it, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, whatever. Now, a lot of people would say you should continue to pressure backline here, but obviously you don't have blinks. The difference between this and this is, remember, what was the takeaway from this? Remember when you drop back on the ram?
I should keep my angle and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
So
keep pressure on the angle.
Other people...
Right. It's just it's convenient, right? It's convenient. It allows. It's the same thing here. So because you're shooting ram does not mean that you're making a mistake. You're just holding the angle. This is still very useful, right? You see what I'm saying? This is still very useful. You just continue to... Now, as soon as he's nanoed, obviously not as useful, but just hold the angle. Whether it's shooting a DPS, a support, or a tank. This is totally fine. Good. Ouch. Good. Probably didn't need to recall that, but it's not the end of the world. Good check on the Farah there. Yeah, this was a good fight from you in terms of strategy. Good timing, good angle, good resource management. Obviously, the pulse on was a little bit unfortunate, but it was intended for the correct target at the correct time. Well done.
Thanks. I think those are all instinct for me because I'm not really thinking about any of that.
Right.
And like,
right.
and I'm only like realizing it now that you're pointing it out to me.
Correct. And that's fine. You don't need to change it. The only times you need to give it attention, as we talked about, is if it's a weakness. And it might be a weakness. We've only looked at a few fights, so we'll continue to roll. Now, I'll say this is stupid, respectfully. It's not that you shooting the Ana is stupid. You're just not...
It's the way.
It's the way that you're shooting. So if you want to duel the Ana, how do you approach this Ana?
I probably go through the building and then...
Yes, there's choices, right? You got options, but yeah. The point being is that you cannot contest her at this range. You should not shoot her at all, because anytime shooting her means that you're giving her something to shoot back at, and she does infinitely more damage than you do at this range. Close the distance. Stop thinking about tracking her head. This is useless. Look. What is this? 29 damage.
Literally tickling her, yeah.
Literally tickling her. And that's going to come at the expense of you losing or winning the duel here. I mean, this duel feels so much like you actually got your recall forced by Grandma. Okay, that's embarrassing. Set up, close distance, don't waste time. That's like that almost feels like a. Okay, maybe I'm reading way too much into this, but that almost feels like a CS habit or something like that. It's like just the put the crosshair and track accurately. Or maybe it's just like a mechanically leaned, but it's just lazy. It's lazy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Close the distance. Even here, totally worthless, right? What should you be doing now instead?
Setting up for the next fight.
Setting up for the next fight. Now, the fight probably is going to be happening more around here, but then you could be thinking, okay, do I want to like pursue and try and spawn camp? Do I want to wrap into here and be, do I just want to hide, right? And just wait? There's just no point doing anything right here. Because if that Cassidy hits a headshot, yeah, he's got to worry about fall off, right? But it's still going to be annoying. You're still going to lose 70, 80 HP, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, I think that there is a world there where you 100% just hide and stay, and then you're cooking. Like, even this, totally worthless. What should you be doing instead?
Just literally setting up.
Literally setting up again, right? Probably sitting here and quietly listening, but waiting for the opportunity to push around here. You got it. Because it's always opportunity cost, because when you're shooting like that, it's not free value. You're choosing to not set up instead. Good. Wait, what? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Wait, what?
What?
He got scammed. There's like an invisible ceiling. Oh, that sucks. Poor guy. Alright, let's look at this. So, obviously good. What do you think of this blink melee?
I think it's appropriate.
It's appropriate. Look at the clip, right? Now, I think it's appropriate of when you're doing it clip-wise, but it's not appropriate in how you're doing it. Because should this be a blink melee, or should this be a 180 blink melee?
180, for sure.
Why?
Because I'm blinking right into a Life Weaver's face.
Right.
While he's shooting at me.
When is a non-180 blink melee appropriate? We saw it once with the Ana, remember?
Yeah, when finishing off targets.
Finishing off targets or finishing a clip, right? Because you're just getting the damage before the recall, right?
Yeah.
This situation, you're going to blink 180 blink melee. He's going to turn. You're going to blink back and finish your clip, right? This is inappropriate. And I think you actually tried to. You just didn't judge the distance properly. So
yeah, I did try to.
Instincts is correct. Mechanics just needs more practice. Just live. Okay. This is crucial. This is a crippling error from you. Okay. What do you need to do now? Crucially. Do you remember this situation here? It's similar.
Stay on the angle.
Stay on the angle. You cannot but you cannot take the duel, but how do you stay on the angle? Think carefully.
Blink back down the stairs?
Yes, blink down the stairs in this direction. They cannot pursue. They're not fast enough. You play towards cover. You wait, and then when the fight starts, you're now in a position perfectly set up for where the fight is going to happen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In addition to that, while disengaging towards your team, you do one of the big things that we talk about, tracer sandwich. Right here. You should die here. Do you see the cast? You see the
I do see the cast.
Yeah. This is how you die. So ironically, blinking towards your team is oftentimes more dangerous as tracer, especially if it ends up crossing between enemies. You should die here. There it is. Right? Whereas here, you blink here, they make either a choice. They ignore you, you're totally fine, you go back in. They chase you, they can't kill you, and you're getting value without even actually doing anything. Right? And then you're perfectly staged for the next fight. So, yeah, okay. Very, 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 very important thing to keep an eye on. I don't love this rollout. I think taking high here probably the better option. I know you're urgent to get back to the fight, and you probably thought that I could just kind of wrap this way, but obviously now it's getting spammed, and now you're like, crap. And also, I will say this. Okay, if you want to roll out here, obviously you do have the option here with 2 blinks to set up, but you just shoot instead.
In the far, yeah.
From 30 meters, right? And it's like, you could blink here. I mean, that's pretty risky. You could technically, I guess, blink here. That would probably be the better option, but instead we're going to shoot. And we're going to take a rocket that was actually intended for Ana. Good. Nice tracking. Nice tracking. Good. Good, good. Nothing really to say here. Good trigger discipline there. Mid-clip pause. Probably didn't need recall there, but it's fine. Okay, nice job. Outside of the initial setup stuff, we're good. Okay, any questions so far?
No, nothing so far.
Okay, let's keep going. Definitely noticing some consistent themes here of things that you're doing well and things that you're not doing well. This is fine. Tracer on cart is fine. Allows your team to take positions and push up. A lot of escort maps, by the way, like hybrids, like anything where there's a payload. Tracers actually could be very useful at pushing cart because it allows your team to like take those like really like all those fat heroes and the slow heroes, the Anas and the Zens and the Ashes. They can all take the nice juicy high grounds and you can push cart. So this is fine.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Chex has said that to me on a Gibraltar replay.
Yep, 100%. Now here I would go ahead and leave because Grandma's moved forward, so I would go ahead and take your angle. Where would you go, given the information that you have? Obviously, you don't know exactly where everybody is, but where would you go?
I would just go up the ramp.
Yep, go up the ramp. Go up the ramp. And then where? Because obviously this is too far, right? I know you'd shoot here, but you shouldn't. What should you do instead?
Maybe going the buildings to my right. I have no idea.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, you could also blink through here and maybe play this game here. I mean, again, this is just your limitation as Tracer, right? Like you're gonna have to deal with range limitations, right? Heck, you could even spawn camp Pharah here. But yeah, I think 2 on robot here is kind of war crimey. Maybe you didn't realize it, but yeah. Okay.
I think at this point I was about to go up and then our ball got barraged.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, should have been there, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 seconds before. Okay. It wouldn't have changed the fight. You still would have lost, but against the principle, not the result.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and set up. Give the information that you have. This is a good rollout. Ball is dead again. Keep wrapping. Go, go, go. Don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back. Take the angle and go, right? Don't go back. This is worthless. Like, you're not helping anybody here, right? Like, you're just... Don't, right? What should you do? What should you do?
Yeah, just go. Just wrap.
Just wrap, right? Like wrap. Get the pressure here, get a trade here, force resources, make sure the realm doesn't have follow-up. You just don't do anything here. You're not at an angle. You're shooting an annihilate. I mean, I'm sorry. We just have to snapshot this one. I'm going to turn this into a GIF. You know, and it's just, again, it's like you're lost in the sauce. Like, it's because it's like those few seconds, right? And now you're like, you don't even know where anybody is. You don't know where to go. And like, this is like a pretty decent compromise, but now it's just like ridiculously too late. Just no point doing anything right now. Okay. Your ball is like... Okay. It's fine. 2 ults for 1. Well, I like this a lot. This is really good. Let's get a Nemesis. See, this is the funny thing, too, here. It's the same problem. You're doing a good thing, but you know what? I don't like this right here. You know what I'm doing? I'm hiding behind the robot's legs, okay? Because look, again, like even Ram, like look at your HP. That's half your HP gone, right? And what have you done to him? 40 damage? Not even 40 damage.
Right.
36. Right. And it's obviously proportionally, oh my gosh, that's terrifying. It's obviously proportionally a lot less as well, right? I mean, when you're at this range, then it's appropriate to shoot Ram, right? But like this range, not so good. And again, it's always like what you're doing instead. You're taking damage, you're not paying attention to what comes out around you. Pharah catches you by surprise, and now you're probably dead. Yeah. Opportunity cost, right? I want you to be thinking about what should I be doing instead of shooting at 50 meters. Could I be setting up? Could I be tracking cooldowns? Could I be tracking enemy threats? Could I be thinking about my ultimate? Whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Big problem with you. As good as some of your other things are, big problem. In fact, I find that the only time that I find your positioning bad is when you're distracted by shooting something else. When you have time to set up and no distractions, you're great. But as soon as distractions crop up, your positioning tends to tank. Where should you be? Where should you go?
On the right, maybe.
Yep.
In the house. Yeah.
Yep. In the house, take the single here. You can either off angle from here, or you can take the stairs top and wrap deeper this way. You got choices. But instead, we want to shoot. And so when we want to shoot, you see it? Position gets bad.
Yeah.
Good. Really nice. Again, blink melee. Appropriate? Not appropriate? What do you think?
Appropriate.
Yep. Clip finisher. So you don't need a 180 blink. Obviously, there's no way to blink melee from here anyway. Or 180. And then in addition to that, you do something that's really, really ballsy, but I really like. You actually don't need a recall because you have overhealth and you don't take any damage. So you conserve your recall and blink to a deeper angle. You see this? This is really good stuff. Now, obviously, you need to continue to rotate here because you are being pincered. But I'm not even joking. Like, obviously, you got rocketed by far, so your recall got forced anyway. That was really, really smart. That was really well done. A lot of space to utilize there. And then this rotation here. It's like night and day. Like it's like night and day. Like it's crazy. Like how much better the last 6 seconds have been in your Tracer gameplay. Even this is fine. You don't. Oh, by the way, this is exactly what I wanted you to do earlier on the bridge. You don't have recall and you're down blinks. So can you really take an engagement safely on backline right now?
Not really.
So you shoot ram, but the difference is that you're shooting ram from the angle that you're supposed to be holding. Right? You're not going back to shooting ram. You're just shooting ram because it's convenient. You see the difference?
Yes.
And then obviously as soon as you want to, your angle allows you to actually go for backline. In fact, you can already start probably to rotate right side as you'd like to. Yes. Very good. Close. Good. Good trigger discipline there. Now let's take a look at this melee. Because this one's interesting. Because it's a melee. I think it's more of like you predicted yourself to hit more shots than you did. So you expected this one to be the finisher, right? Because he is low. You just didn't hit any shots. But in hindsight, that blink melee was really quite bad. Because you didn't actually hit the shots needed. And so what it did is it delayed your reload. It gave him an opportunity to disengage. You see that?
Yeah.
Now, he's still probably going to die, but from your end of things, it was not perfect. I understand why you went for the blink melee. Again, you thought that you'd hit more shots than you did, but obviously in execution, not quite it. I wouldn't mind if you went for... Okay, one other thing as well. So if you really want to deep... delve into mechanics here. This is something that we haven't talked about, but obviously we've referenced several times. You're familiar with trigger discipline, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. It's not been perfect. It's been hit or miss. No pun intended. This is a great example. You see it?
Yeah.
That's 30 plus bullets whiffed until you actually start to hit a bullet. Something to keep, I want you to keep an eye on that. Talk about mechanical things to work on. The blink melees, trigger discipline as well. And frankly, also respecting range. It might be more of a macro concept, but it's practiced mechanically. By keeping an eye, when should I be shooting, when should I not be shooting? Even this, right? This is really, really silly. Because you know where this fight's going to happen, right? It's going to happen right about here. So where's the best angle for you to be at that point in time? And will it take time to set up, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I would go with double windows, maybe double windows, or I would wrap down, like, if I wanted to go deep, wrap down, like, right side down the stairs.
Yep. Perfect. 10 out of 10. So it's funny because you describe yourself as more of an instinctual player, but whenever I ask you to be more specific with your positioning, at least, you always do a good job analyzing the situation and coming up with the correct answers every single time.
I think I just don't do it because I'm just like defaulting to shooting.
Right. Defaulting to shooting when it's inappropriate. The thing is uptime matters so much, But obviously uptime doesn't matter then because nothing's happening and you're not providing anything anyway. Your uptime once you're here matters. Like how you use your blinks, how you use cover, how you manage your resources, extremely important. Continue.
I think my killer and like part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is, remember how I mentioned in my form I have a Masters 2 account?
Yes.
I've played on that a couple of times on Tracer, and I noticed that my uptime is really bad, and I'm like not doing enough damage. So I think like I'm trying to like work that into my gameplay. I'm going about it the wrong way.
Right, exactly. It's like saying like I'm not being productive enough, so I'm gonna wake up, set my alarm for 3 a.m. every single day and start like grinding. You know, but that's an inappropriate application of a problem. And the funny thing is, ironically, is it doesn't even solve the issue from a statistical standpoint. Because remember, the problem with doing this is the damage that you're doing. $22 damage, congratulations, right? So even based off of the statistical goal of doing more damage and feeling like I have more uptime, it's actually not good. And also, in terms of uptime, the irony is because you go, oh shoot, I need to be on an angle, the fight is starting now. And where are you?
Still setting up.
Still setting up. So it's actually not uptime, it's when does the uptime need to matter? And because you're choosing it too late, your uptime is missed when it's most important. Now uptime matters. Now damage matters. And there you go. Where is this guy? Now, blink melee time. Let's analyze the situation, see if you could fit in a blink melee if you were perfectly mechanically performed.
I would do it there, yeah.
You could do it here, right? It's a little far, but maybe you could press W, melee blink, right? Mm-hmm. And then shoot, finish the clip, blink reload. You know, let's see, okay. And heck, you could also do it here. You could also do a melee and a shoot here, right? As a kind of like a spike off of your damage, right? And this is really why I think like getting into that Black Forest deathmatch with a friend, because you could really like isolate these things down, you know, and like force. Oh, nice trigger discipline right there. That was really good. Like you could really isolate these things and grind them over and over and over again. By the way, this is another blink melee right here. 180. You see it?
Hey, I see it. I see it. Absolutely, I see it.
You see it. 180. You're going to have to move anyway because he's shooting at your head. So you might as well take the free damage and finish the clip because you got 30 bullets. So the trigger discipline is good, but I actually think a blink melee there would have been better. And then obviously here, like over blink a little bit and then a little slow in the recall. That's okay. Do you feel like you have a better grasp of like when the melees are going to be appropriate?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and like I said, I will ask Rocket and Shax about it, and I'll let you know what they say. Thank you. I was really scared for one brief second because I saw this and I'm like, oh no, he's lost. he's
doing
stuck.
It again.
He's stuck. Like he's gonna. Now, obviously, this range is not always terrible for Tracer. Like if you're shooting like a Winston or like even a Ram here, like you could do okay damage, but obviously versus the Pharaoh, it's not good. But you tear yourself away. I think more out of fear than anything else. But thankfully, we get where we needed to be. No comment, but that's okay. A little bit of trigger discipline there. Do get the kill. A little bit of trigger discipline there as well. The angle here is good, though. Good, 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 good. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I think it's a little bit unfortunate. I think also as well, I don't know where your ball went. Oh, your ball was dead. Okay, maybe just not aware of that. Let's keep going here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm willing you. I'm willing you to take this action. Yes! Okay. There it is. Oh, no! Oh, shoot. I'm a fraud. I'm sorry. One little detail, I guess you could say here, is that you're a little early. You know, like your ball is engaging right now, but if you could just be a little bit more patient with this here. Just wait for this here. And like wait for your ball to go in first and then create that space. But to be honest with you, that's just a couple of good shots. It is what it is. You're not always going to be punished for making mistakes. You're not always going to be... You might be punished for doing the right thing. That's just how it goes. Thank you. Close. Good. Good. Just keep dumping clips on either him or... And see, these are the ones that I'm unsure on in terms of the blink melees. I think it's probably okay because you have some sort of follow-up from your ball. So you're like, I'm just going to dump 40 damage, my ball will finish him off. You got to get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like my intention there too.
Right. But if that was a 1v1, that would not be good. You would want to blink, reload, blink again, and then just finish your clip. Because you know that he's more than 40 damage off. But yeah, okay. I have a few more minutes. Like, I want to take some notes, obviously, as well. But, like, we could look at, like, 1 or 2 more fights if you want to shoot me another code.
Sure, I won't have...
Doesn't have to be a good code, but, yeah.
Let me see if I can find one quick. And whilst I'm doing that, I do have a question.
Yeah.
This is like kind of related, but I'm finding it's really like backwards, what I'm about to say, but I'm actually finding it easier to perform in the higher rank I go up to a limit.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that is.
That's normal. It happens with me. In fact, it's a very common phenomena in scrimmage environments. It's effort. It's effort. You're approaching the game with a lot more respect and discipline than you probably approach your other ranked account. Maybe not by a lot. You may not even notice it, but it's probably the first thing that's the reason between those two gaps. You're going in with a lot more intention and intensity, excuse me. And I think that that's probably translating to how you're playing. Mm-hmm. It's also probably just a little bit of bad luck or good luck, vice versa.
Because like it's really weird depending on, because I sometimes obviously my friends are not all the same rank as me. Here's another code, by the way.
Yeah.
When I play with like lower rank friends, I sometimes actually struggle more, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. And then whereas like I go to my Masters 2 account and I feel like I'm doing something, even though I'm probably making way too many mistakes to be stable at that rank. But like I feel like I'm somehow playing better at that rank than I'm on like a plat lobby, which makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be the nature of like the way that you're approaching it, like your mentality. It could be that you've gotten a little bit lucky, you've gotten a little bit unlucky. It could be that you're making assumptions about your teammates in those lower ranked lobbies that aren't actually working out as well. I mean, there could be answers.
I'm on Farah for like the first 2 minutes.
Or do you look more Tracer?
I don't think the Farah is very productive here, so.
Okay, let's take a quick look here. Farah, Echo, and then Tracer. Gotta stop and see the sights, you know. You're consistent, you know, because where should you be here? You start, but you don't finish. Where should you go?
Blink across.
Blink across, and then what?
Touch point, I guess.
Touch point. Yep, touch point. Pull them towards you, right? Get them off of this choke. Let your team. Then pull them to where they actually are in your effective range, so you can actually do damage, right? Yeah, I mean, this is just wasted time. You're pulling D.Va's attention, so you're like, oh, I'm doing something. And actually, like, you actually outrange D.Va, too, so it's actually you're winning this HP trade, technically. But you could be doing so much more. You could not be pulling just D.Va. You could be pulling Bastion and pulling Lifeweaver, and then actually posing lethal threats to those characters, forcing turret form and grenade and pull and you know, heal beam and so many other things, right?
Yeah.
And so what happens is you feel useless. You're like, oh, I guess I got to go to point. But it should have been 7 or 8 seconds ago, right? And now look at your team's HP.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so you're unbelievably late to this party. So like that's this entire fight. It's literally just that's the only thing to learn. Again, you know, you see it. You just have to go. Nice. Micro here. Little detail. I have a whole video on Tracer. Let me send it to you really fast. On Tracer Micro, I think specifically in the 1v1s.
Yeah, I don't know. Tracer 1v1s are such hit or miss for me.
Okay. First thing, it's the same as every other duel. You need to win the crosshair placement duel. And you need to win that by managing your blinks better than her. Right here, do not peek this. Because at best, this is an even duel. At worst, it's not. So if you're going to peek this corner, what should you do first?
Blink across.
Blink across. You understand?
Yes.
So you force her to either bait the shoot or have to reactively blink, but it's harder for her because she doesn't know how she's supposed to blink immediately. She actually has to react to how you react to react appropriately. So you create this much, she has to make a much more difficult decision than you, because all you have to do is just blink out. The other thing that you could do, if you're like, I don't want to wait for my blink, what could you do instead? Pretend it's a widow.
Jiggle peek.
Jiggle peek, right. Jiggle peek. But turn back, and then you win the crosshair. Because what she's going to do is she's going to do one of two things. She's going to keep dumping her clip in the open space, and then go frick, and then die because she only has 18 bullets left in her clip, right?
Yeah.
Or she's going to pause her clip, and she's going to reload. She's screwed. Either way. You got me?
Gotcha.
Something to consider.
Yeah. I've had that, like, done to me before, like, where they blinked out, so...
Yep.
Definitely, yeah.
There's lots of little details there. They can be definitely hard to work in isolation, but yeah. Frankly, I would say that you're so worthless right now, it would be okay for you to disengage and retake the Tracer duel, or maybe even wrap for a deep blink this side. This is just, like, not pretty. Like, you see how useless you feel, right? And not only useless, but under a lot of threat. It's like you didn't... There isn't really an easy solution here if it makes you feel any better. Like, this is all hard. You know, the best thing you could probably do is, like, force a Tracer duel again, which I know it feels bad, but it's better than what you did, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just... At that moment, I felt like, what the fuck am I meant to do?
Yeah, you know? It's rough. It's a mess, you know? It's like you want to close the distance, but the angles don't feel good. Okay, let's talk about this. Obviously, mechanics. What do you think of this blink melee? It's tricky, isn't it? Okay, you want to get really complicated with it?
I think if I want to get really complicated with it, I think in this exact situation, it's all right because she's turned around. But if she didn't turn around and was looking at me, it would be bad.
I could go even more complicated than that. I'm more complicated than you are. Check this. So, is there anywhere where a single blink is going to solve the situation for you?
No.
You're going to have to double blink. So you're going to do a drive-by.
Yes.
Which is why a lot of the times, I mean, this is just me speculating, you see more melees and Tracer duels, not only because the 40 damage matters more, and it's like consistent compared to like the bullets, which are a little bit harder to hit, but also because you're going to have to blink through this Tracer with 2 blinks. So you're going to blink once, melee, blink twice, reload. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you might as well get the damage in if you're going to double blink anyway. Because the double blink's going to delay your reload anyway, so you might as well blink, melee, blink, reload.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's like, it makes sense, but it's like, what can you do with that information? It's hard, right? You're gonna have to grind this. You know, this character is like. But I guess what I'm saying is that this is probably when you. I would say if you're studying these high level Tracer players, look for that. Look for that. See if you can find it.
Okay.
I mean, you had hacks, so it's like. And remember, first response. If she has the advantage in the crosshair placement because she got a weird recall, you have to do not do the crosshair drag, right? You have to blink. Now you did blink, but you're just a little slow with it. Good trigger discipline there. She got packed. Frick. See, even here, what should your response be here? Because she did the thing, right?
Blink?
Blink, right. You cannot, remember it's the exact same circumstance, but you're now the Tracer here, right? She peeked the corner, you have to blink immediately. You blink behind her, wherever, because look at the crosshair advantage here, right? 3, 2, 1. Whoops, wrong person. You see the difference?
Yeah.
It's only a little bit, and honestly, it should be even more of Horde's direction. But like her crosshair is closer to you. Jeez, this stupid replay viewer than you are to her. You need to even the field before you take that duel. Oh, by the way, in terms of this, the strategy of what you're doing here, I feel like this doesn't need to be said, but I will say it. This is appropriate for you to take the duel here. Because there's no other angle. You were on the angle. She contest the angle. You win the 1v1. That's your job.
Okay.
Now,
I feel like this duel is taking way too long.
But it doesn't matter. It's you're taking her out of the fight, and not only that, but you're demanding more healing resources than, or she's demanding more healing resources than you are, right? So it's an uneven trade. Now, if you were here, would you blink across to take the Tracer duel? Of course not. No, you just
absolutely not.
You just take what's convenient. You just take what's convenient. That's the rule. If you were on the angle, the Tracer contests the angle, then take the Tracer duel. Don't need to win the Tracer duel by killing her. You could just win her by forcing resources, which is exactly what you did. You forced the Life Weaver to heal her several times, which means the Life Weaver is not fully in tune with what's happening in the rest of the field. Yeah, see, she won the duel right here. You see how she won it?
Yeah.
It's like a Widow duel is what it is. It's a Widow duel with, but like a multiple peaks at once, you know? You got surprised. And I don't have really any other, like, you just have to be ready for that, right? You have to be ready for that. You have to pull that on them. You got to go, oh, I don't have recall, or I have the mini advantage. So, and the funny thing as well is she was smart because she knew that she could not go through this choke because you'd wreck her, right? So what'd she do? She did something a little bit chaotic. She blinked across the bridge, and she got you. You see that? Okay. Yeah. Now let's take some notes. Tracer, what do you need to practice? How would you break it down?
Get rid of the unnecessary shooting. I think that's like the biggest one that we've seen so far.
Shooting on range instead of thinking about setup, targets, positioning, CDs, etc. Meaningless uptime poke at the expense of actual damage time. Okay, what else?
The micro with the tracer deals, that is actually a big game changer because I've always, against better tracers, found that they've always been blinking around me better, but I've never known why until that explanation, which makes perfect sense to me.
Great. I would go through, I've just put basically a very vague description. Go back through the session, listen through it again, and write down one or two things that you can actually work on. Like whether it's the corner peeking, the double blinks, the trigger discipline, the always trying to win the crosshair advantage. Try and work at those things in isolation, even force them unnecessarily, just to kind of get more comfortable and make them instinct. That's the rule. Make them instinct.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
The nuance with blink melee. Blink 180 when whoever I'm dueling is looking at me, and also blink 180. Blink melee is appropriate when I'm emptying half a clip.
Yeah.
Then blink 180 melee. Then blink again. Finish the clip.
Yep.
And if I want to blink melee to finish someone off, then I can expend all my clip and then blink melee. That's like the appropriate time to do it.
You got it. 100%. Anything else?
I think those are like the big things I remember.
I think so too. I think there's a couple other details still in there, but those are the big ones. Okay, any questions?
Yes. About practicing, putting this all into practice and drilling it in. Would you because I have, as I've said, I've had this issue with like playing by myself, and a lot of times I play with sometimes I play with friends of lower rank. Would that matter?
Yes, sadly. I would generally avoid playing the hero that you're most seriously working at improving at the highest level when you're playing with your friends or playing in a lower level.
Cool.
I would work on the Echoes, the Ashe, or whatever, and the character that you feel you're most serious about, save that for as much of your solo queue, exclusively even solo queue if possible. Just so that you're being challenged to the utmost level and you're not building any bad habits or getting distracted with whatever. Yeah, that would be my recommendation. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I would lean more into that if possible.
Yeah. And on the opposite end, would you suggest me trying a couple of like games on my higher ranked account just to see how it feels?
You can.
Or would
You
that,
can.
or do you think that's a waste of time?
Can I be honest? The
Yes.
goal is the high rank account, the low rank account, the differences are irrelevant.
Okay.
Just play the game. What will
Play the
probably
game. Cool.
happen is the high rank count will dip a little bit because it sounds like you got a little bit fortunate or a little bit lucky in the placement, or you just have been very, super taking it intentionally, whatever. Doesn't matter. Long run, it doesn't matter all that much. The goal is we want good practice. It doesn't really matter what rank account it is.
Yeah. Cool.
Don't overthink it. Okay. Any other questions?
That's it from me.